What's happening, everybody? We are back, baby, in full effect. It's Ron, it's John, it's Jose in the back. We doing it up, baby, weekly. What's up, y'all?
Sir, we're back in the building. Looking forward to today's show, as always.
Yes. I'm happy to be back, being able to chop it up with my brothers. I had a great time. But we got some stuff to talk about because we haven't chopped it up together in a minute. So I'm excited about that.
Yeah, sad times. But I promise you, next year I do plan to be at that draft party. Yes. So I'm looking forward to next year for sure.
Yeah, man, that's what I'm talking about. And you know what? We're gonna chop it up, and I got to talk to you about some ideas. We haven't had a chance to really talk yet. We got some ideas for next year that we were chopping it up over there. We had some good talk, so bring you guys in, and we can really, start brainstorming. But I like it. Some good stuff.
Nice. So
does
it mean? Does it? Oh, there it goes.
You see Still Knicks fans in the building? Let's go, baby.
Very nice.
Out.
How you gonna be with the whole show? You gonna be gotta pull that back. Yeah, man. What were we gonna say, John? I'm sorry, I cut you off. No, I was saying that. So does some of those conversations that we're gonna have? Does that include bringing Jose with us at draft party?
You know what? If Jose would like to attend, I think it'd be a very nice experience for him. Come down.
Yeah.
And I think it's going to be an excuse for a lot of people who maybe didn't make it this year, or some other people that were on the fence, because it is Atlantic City and it's gambling town. We're gonna try to make it so that it's more of a. You still have that option, but it's gonna maybe a family-friendly weekend, so a bunch of different things, and I think it'll be something where a lot of people.
I'm leaving the kids at home.
If you want, you can leave the kids at home, but this might be something.
That's not gonna be a good. No thanks. No thanks. I'm not trying to hear that.
Yeah, it should be. Hopefully, if everything works out, it'll be pretty cool. But yeah, it was definitely a great time, man.
Nah, man, I need to separate. I need that separation. That's the reason why I go this year.
I got you. So maybe next year, for you can come. It'll be a business trip for you.
For real. Plus, I might want to hit the court because I heard about that. Those 1v1s and the 2-on-2s. I seen the 1v1 actually. I was watching.
Yeah. And it had me thinking, man. I was like, I'm not in shape, so I wasn't going to tempt fate. But had I been in shape, I definitely would have wanted to get out there and do some stuff because it looked like it was a fun time.
Yeah.
Once
you knew the cameras were on, you was like, I don't know about that one.
Yeah, the thing is, like at the end of the game between Sim and Isaiah, Big Bubba, aka for those who don't know, I was shooting around a little bit in the background, but I'm glad nobody could catch that because it wasn't good.
Oh no, we caught it. We caught it.
We've
seen every bit of those air balls.
Oh damn! Because
someone,
listen,
hold on. Someone put on the chat that Raw's jump shot was from 87. I was rolling. Yeah, we rolling.
Oh, but listen, but you guys got to understand, like, before, first off, the warm up was forever. We warmed up for like an hour and a half. I was shooting forever, man. I shot so much, I got all hot and sweaty, tired. I had to go get water. It was crazy. So yeah, but at that time, there was all going in. I was raining jumpers. People was like, "Yo, Ron," I was like, "Yeah, man."
Brick after brick after brick.
I had a couple moments, but yeah, it was rough. But that's okay. I think I'm gonna start getting it together, man. This is good stuff. It's good stuff. But yeah, man, it was it was a really cool weekend. Met some really cool people. Met, you know, I've mentioned it already, but you know, Quality Jumper and Kareem Grant, dope guys that always support the shows. So it was really cool to meet them. You know, as well as everybody else who was there. I mean, I feel like I say the names all the time, but you know, everybody, they know who they were. It was a dope time. Shout out to everybody. Shout out to Sim from MBK for putting on another great event. And hopefully next year it'll be bigger and better, and we can get the whole Still Knick fans crew out there, and then even more content creators and more people from the chat, fans of the Knicks, and make it a big extravaganza.
Yeah, man. It'll grow more and more, for sure.
Yeah, Almighty Finesse, it was like an hour and a half of warm-up. Like, we was warming up for a minute, man.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I think that's the reason why Eru, who was 1 point away from victory, forfeited the game. He was dead. So, yeah.
That was wild.
That was a funny moment, man.
Everyone looked winded.
Yeah, it was funny. It was funny. The only person who looked in shape was Sim, and you know, he was even saying, yeah, I could be in better shape. I'm not where I want to be. I'm like, yo, you killing this dude. Anyway.
Yeah, man.
Shout out to everybody. Shout out to the chat. Dripmore in the building. Almighty Finesse is here. White Falcon. Bodega Wi-Fi is here. Angel Torres. Geraldine McIver. Salute. My dude Hard Will was good. Yeah, man. It was a fun time. But what wasn't a fun time, now mind you, this is a weekly recap basically, guys, so you're going to hear me reference the bad. I'm in a better place now, but what wasn't a good time was Thursday night, draft night. It wasn't, you know, little kid Porzingis bad, but it wasn't great. It wasn't great. Let me ask you something, John. What were you thinking when you was watching from home as to what the Knicks were doing? How was you feeling?
I had no idea what they were doing. I had no idea. I was like, who are they going with? And once they decided to go the route that they went, and then you started seeing like all of the all of the sports guys like Woj and everyone tweeting out what's the next thing that's going to happen. You just like realized that this wasn't going to be the Knicks pick, and they were sort of moving some pieces around in order to deliver the Pistons two of those picks. So it was interesting. It was interesting, getting Jalen Duren, you know what I mean, on a trade and then shipping him back out. That was an interesting move. I still don't quite understand it. I'm like everyone else, just trying to wait and see what happens during this free agency, because I think at this point that's what we got to wait for. And then if they don't move on anyone, at that point we're gonna have to call it what it is. I know there's some folks already calling it, the Knicks just a travesty and the front office not, being equipped to make good decisions. But I'm gonna hold those comments until after this free agency, because I'm still holding on to a slight little bit of hope.
I hear you. I'm in much better spirits now. I've had some time to rest and
you got
digest.
It all out.
Yeah. I was, dude, man, I try to be as optimistic as possible, but even I couldn't hold it back. I was like, I don't know what they do. This is tough, bro.
In the beginning, you would hear like the conversations was like, hey, these are all protected picks and such or whatever. Now you're starting to see that there's some loopholes in some of these picks, and so I think a lot of this is we should see some of these picks go into some sort of trade or some sort of move that they're planning to make. For whom, I don't know. They're like, I'm sure every content creator has already, or Knick content creator has already, throughout their ideas around who they'll be chasing. The most likely would be Jalen Brunson, so I could see the Jalen Brunson move happening. But I don't think there's just going to be Jalen Brunson. I think it's going to be Jalen Brunson and another. We just don't know who that other is going to be. So I'm trying to wait and see what it looks like. That's all.
I think you're right, man. I think they are setting up to definitely try to bring in Jalen Brunson, but I think they're also trying to bring in another person. I think they're trying to clear up as much cap space as they can to do that, to be able to have enough just to get the ball rolling to start to re-sign Mitch. Because once they, get him in, then they can probably backload the contract and get him under the, in the agreement and go from there. But
I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised at the pick that they grab from Duke. What's his name?
Trevor Keels.
Trevor Keels. Terry. I was way off. Trevor Keels. I wouldn't be surprised if he gets moved too. And sort of a package deal. I could see that happening. But just because, from the looks of it looks like they're comfortable with who we have, who we plan to play next year. I think there are certain players that are just going to be staples for this team. But there are players like Deuce McBride that's sort of up in the air. You got Cam's up in the air. And then veteran players that can be useful in other places like, Burks, Fournier. Even some folks may find it interesting, but what's name may look good in a different uniform. And I think you spoke about this probably before we left. What's our center's name?
Mitch?
Norlands
Nerlens
Noel.
Noel. Oh.
You know what I mean? Even though he had a full season hurt, coming back from injury, he could probably help another team out in a certain way that we may not use him in that same way. So I wouldn't be surprised if you see a few of those guys move, or even IQ and Grimes. I wouldn't be surprised to see them move either. I guess
everything's open. Like everything's on the table, right?
Yeah. What we do know is they're not shopping Randall. That's what we do know.
For what that's
for
worth.
Whatever it's worth. Exactly. So we know that much.
I do think that there's been a lot of speculation and rumors about the fact that it's leading people to think that the Knicks are definitely trying to get Brunson here. And they just want to be able to put him in a position where he can get his money because he is a CAA guy. Leon Rose's son is his agent. So I don't know the collusion and all this stuff that's going on.
His dad is about his coaching the team too. It's so much. It's so close. Such a close-knit situation. So I hope they really, make sure that they cross their T's and dot their I's around this move because there's going to be some investigating happening for sure.
Oh, it's happening. I don't think there's no way. I don't think a tampering charge can't happen. Like, I don't know. This is like clear cut. I don't know how you can avoid it, but whatever. But I think the Knicks are prepared for that. That's why they have all these picks.
They better be. They better be. Because, who's to say that you don't then lose all these picks? So
that's a very true statement. Very true statement.
You see what they do to NCAA when someone, tries to, get over. Some of those teams don't get, an opportunity to draft any high schoolers or top prospects. So that could be the same situation for the Knicks.
And then the Bulls, their tampering charge, I guess it was ruled that it wasn't a tampering charge.
Yeah.
So
they were straight. But we, knowing the Knicks, we got to watch ourselves. Front office, you don't want to see that happen to our Knicks. That's a full on rebuild once more, and those are the years that you need Barrett to really be handed the torch, and you're not going to have that opportunity. So
Yeah,
That would be nice. I don't see it though, because they haven't even talked about Randall being moved for Brunson. Angel Torres saying maybe they trade Randall for a sign and trade for Brunson. Basically, Randall has the same salary Brunson wants. And here Dallas want to kill. Yeah, well, you would have to move some other pieces though, because I think Randall's better, like a more valuable player than Brunson would be. I don't know. I mean, maybe there's an argument to be said about last year's performance in the playoffs for Brunson, but I don't know if I would want a straight up 1-for-1 with Randall.
but I tell you, if
I don't know.
I think Randall would flourish in Dallas with Luka being the guy over
That's
there.
his hometown. So
Right.
but I haven't heard anything like close to that. Like there's no reports around it. Everything points to the Knicks organization riding with Randall.
Yeah, it's crazy, man. I don't know what to say about this whole situation. I think it's all wild. I don't know how they're gonna pull it off, but I hope if they can pull it off. But I tell you, it would be really bad if they don't pull it off because now everybody's pointing to it, and no one else is talking about Brunson. Like there's no other teams talking about acquiring Brunson. We're not hearing any rumors. It's only the Knicks. So if the Knicks don't get him, it's not going to look too good, I don't think.
That's like everyone talking about Kyrie going to the Lakers.
Right.
Like he's not right now. It's just them and the Lakers. So, all the other teams are sort of like throw-ins.
And I see Kyrie just recently opted in today. So he opted into his $37 million contract, which is something to be expected. Now they've got to trade him. They've got to do a sign and trade so he can get more money out of it.
Right.
Yeah.
We'll see.
And he's covered either way. He's covered either way. So even if they can't find a trade partner, he's still getting his $37 million.
Right. He ain't losing out.
Must be nice.
Mm-hmm. Hey, listen. Sometimes you put yourself in a position to succeed either way. That's the best position to be in, man. So
that's a fact. So you know what? All right, let's do this. Before we get into Trevor Keels, Gene Montero, and Garrison Brooks, why don't we talk about pickup? That he is the new pickup, the newest pickup, should I say? It's probably not going to stop there, but he's the newest one. Let's take a look at these picks, right? Because I know it's confusing a lot of people. And even after you look at it, this still doesn't mean you understand exactly what's going to happen because we don't know how they're going to use these picks. But the New York Knicks, in this hoopla that happened on Thursday night, they did wind up drafting Ousmane Dieng with the 11th pick. Then they traded that pick. Then they wound up trading with Charlotte for the 13th pick, and they acquired Jalen Duren. And then they wound up trading that pick, and along with Kemba Walker to the Detroit Pistons, and Detroit absorbed the Kemba Walker contract. And out of all of that, so what basically happened is the Knicks wound up getting they traded Ousmane Dieng. OKC was involved with that. They wound up getting 3 first-round draft picks from OKC, all protected picks, I believe. No, one was not. Right? One wasn't. Yeah, no, one was Denver, a pick from Denver.
That's the one they traded.
That's the one they traded with Kemba and Jalen Duren, so that Detroit can, I guess, absorb Kemba's contract and take them off the hooks for that.
But then they gave back a pick, right?
Yeah, they got back Milwaukee's first-round pick for the 2025 season, right? and so they kept the other 2 picks from OKC. Right. So this is how it looks. The Knicks acquired 2 protected 2023 first round picks and 1 2025 first round pick on draft night. The protected picks include a 2023 Wizards pick. It's protected from 1 through 14 in the 2023 season. So the point is the Wizards have to be a good team. If the Wizards are bad and they fall within that 1 to 14 slot, the Knicks don't get the pick. They would have to fall out of that. Pick. No. I mean, they don't get to use the pick. The Knicks still retain the rights to the pick.
Right.
Knicks don't get the pick. So what happens is the pick rolls over until the next year, 2024, where it's protected between 1 and 12. So if Washington falls within 1 and 12, Knicks don't get the pick. If they have a better season and they're not in that 1 to 12, then the Knicks can get the pick and it'll be their pick that they can use at that point.
There's so many stipulations there.
It's crazy, dude. 1 to 10 in 2025. So that means what the Wizards would have to be a really bad lottery pick, 1 to 10. And as long as they don't fall in that mix, then the Knicks would get the pick then. So it just has all these permutations, and then it's 1 through 8 in 2026. And then if the Wizards don't convey the pick by 2026, Washington will send the Knicks a second-round pick in 2026 and 2027. Whatever. That's what it is. So
sounds like lawyer talk.
Yeah. So the Knicks are rooting for the Wizards to make the playoffs next year. Okay, so now the 2023 Pistons pick, this is protected as well from 1 through 18. So it's even tougher to get this pick. And most likely the Wizards are going to be, even though they're going to be a better team, they still may not make the playoffs. So they need the Wizards to make the playoffs and basically, get out of that or have a really good winning season and not make the playoffs. I don't know how you could do that, but whatever. So it's 1 through 18 in 2023. It's 1 through 18 in 2024. I mean, this pick is rough. And then it's 1 through 13 in 2025. And then it's 1 through 11 in 2026. And 1 through 9 in 2027. So the Detroit basically has to be better each of these years so that they don't fall in between these parameters so that the Knicks can possibly claim the pick. If the pick doesn't convey by 2027, the Pistons will send the Knicks their 2027 second-round pick. There you go. That's the protected picks. Then you also have a 2025 Bucks pick. That pick is protected from 1 through 4 in 2025. Now, this pick actually might be something that the Knicks would want because the Bucks are probably going to be a really good team for years to come, and I don't consider them being one of the worst teams in the NBA and having a chance at getting a pick between 1 and 4 in 2025. But you never know. Anything can happen.
Right.
So that's probably the most favorable pick, but it's just so far down the line. 2025 is a couple years from now. And then, of course, the Knicks still retain Dallas's protected pick for 2023, and they have their own draft pick that's not protected. So the Knicks have four first-round picks for next year, and I believe they have, I don't know off the top of my head, but I think it's 4 second-round picks for next year as well, or 3. I think it's 3 second-round picks for next year. But
so, like the headline was like the Knicks have 11 first-round picks for the next, what is it, 7 years?
7 years, I think. I think it's 11 first-round picks in the next 7 years and 11 second-round picks in the next 7 years.
Yeah. That's why I think like a lot of that has to deal with what they can ship out. You know what I mean? It's something you can use for trades. A lot of teams need some of that draft capital. I don't necessarily feel like we're gonna hold on to every single piece of that. So that's why I want to wait. I want to wait to see what happens after free agency. Now, if we go after nobody and don't land anyone relevant, then we should go ham. That's basically what's going to happen. Knicks Nation is going to really speak out and call for people's heads. I mean, at that point, it's like, what's the point?
Agreed. Almighty Finesse says, I don't see the Bucks being good in 2025. I mean, you're right. There's a chance that by that time the Bucks window might be closed. Obviously, Giannis will be a little older, but he's still a fairly young player. I don't even know if he's in his prime as of yet. But it is about retaining all of the pieces they have, which is tough to do for numerous years. So, it's a wait and see thing. But I don't. They may not be as good as they are now, but I don't think they'll be as bad as some of the worst teams in the league. However, all you got to do is not make the playoffs, and you can get a chance at being 1 through 4. So, anything can happen. I hear you, Almighty Finesse.
Yeah.
I hope that's not the case.
We gotta use.
We gotta figure something out, man. We gotta figure something out. They gotta make
moves. If they don't use this to make any moves, it's gonna be a sad day. It's gonna be a sad time.
I'm with you. So, the biggest thing that happened in the draft is that with the 42nd pick, we took Trevor Keels. And I said this before, don't get me wrong, I'm not mad with the Trevor Keels pick. I'm a Duke fan. I like his game for what it is. I mean, he was the 4th option on that team. He is a person who has good defensive acumen. He's 6'4", 200-something pounds, kind of gives you that Marcus Smart vibe, that Kyle Lowry body type. And he's got a little bit of a bulldog. He plays football. So he has that type of mentality. So you like that. I just thought they probably could have picked somebody a little better at that 42nd pick. There was a lot of people that I thought were still on the board that they could have looked at. But it's okay. It is what it is. Trevor Keels is not a bad player. I think he will work out for the Knicks if they give him a chance to play. But I just don't see how they would, since you already have a guy like Deuce, and I don't even know if Deuce is going to get a lot of playing time next year.
But they play different positions, right?
He's a point guard.
Is he?
Yeah. He's that
he's a tweener.
He's more of a a tweener, but he's not a great shooter. So he's really, I guess you could say, he's Marcus Smart type. That's what he is. So the same way you look at Marcus Smart, that's the same way you should look at this guy, except for the fact that Marcus Smart is an incredible defender, but same type of game, if you will.
Right. Speed-wise, though, like, does he carry that same sort of tempo, or he's not?
Do you think Marcus Smart is fast?
Well, for a point guard, I mean, you have to be that good defensively. I'm not saying like moving the ball. He would have to be quick vertically.
I would say that he is similar, but probably a little slower than Marcus Smart. Or if not, maybe it's that they have similar speed, but Marcus Smart's footwork is quicker and so much better. I mean, the dude is great on defense, so his footwork is phenomenal. So it could be that. You could look at it like that. It's tough to call, but he's not the fastest guy out there. No. Right. 6'4", 221 pounds. He doesn't move like a gazelle.
Who I forget who I was listening to that said dork. Someone I was listening to. Who? It was like dork from
I mean, he could look that way. He has another that's another way of looking at him.
Yeah, I don't know. That's what I heard. I don't know who I was listening to, what show I was listening to that they said dork.
And I wouldn't be mad if he turned out to be that type of player, because at least you know what he's good at.
I thought he was going to be coming out sort of like a Desmond Bain type player.
Nah, he don't shoot the rock like that.
Mm.
Yeah, so
Yeah, I don't watch enough college basketball to know. So,
I mean, but you know what? The only thing is, you don't know. Maybe he can develop more of a shot. I think he's 18 years old.
He had some games though where he scored double digits.
Yeah.
Because I know he had I think he was against Pitt, right? It may have been one of Coach K's last games.
Yeah, he definitely had moments where he lit it up. He had a couple good moments, solid.
Right.
And he shot
from some games.
What did he shoot? He shot 31% from 3. He shot 41% from 2. So he fits right into the current Knicks.
Right.
And he shot 67% from the free throw line.
Yeah, that's not good. Not for a point guard.
Shooting's not his forte necessarily right now.
Right.
But then again, Marcus Smart came into the league like that. And I would say Marcus Smart is a pretty good three-point shooter. He knocks down a fair amount of them. So you never know. Yeah. In time, he could turn into something a little better.
Right. Yeah, I'm not sold on it.
Yeah, I know. I hear you. Or he could be used because apparently Dallas wanted to draft, according to people, Dallas wanted to draft Trevor Keels with their pick, but the Knicks took him before they could get to him.
But what's the appeal? I don't understand where the appeal
I think
comes
it's
from.
Defense. I think it might be defense because the one thing about him is that he's a very strong bulldog type of player. And Dallas is all about this new defensive thing. Like they want certain players to play defense for them, and then they'll go get some other players that can help them with the scoring because Luka needs help with that too. He needs other players who can put the ball in the hoop.
Right. But not when he's shooting 43% from the field.
Right. And maybe he's a good – maybe if they do lose Jalen Brunson, maybe he's a good replacement for Jalen. He doesn't give them the offense, but maybe he gives them a little bit more of a defensive presence so that he can make up that, and they'll figure out how to get more scoring in other ways.
That makes sense.
I don't know.
Possibly.
It's a possibility. But, yeah, so, I mean, that's the thing. He's 6'4", 221 pounds, plays solid defense, has that football mentality, and, Knicks got him with the 42nd pick.
Okay.
So then, after the draft, we wound up getting Gene Montero.
Baby buckets.
Yeah, he was signed to an Exhibit 11 contract.
Yeah.
So hopefully we'll see him. I mean, I'm sorry, Exhibit 10. I don't know why I said 11. So hopefully we'll see him in the summer league, most likely, I would think.
And then a G League offer probably after that.
Yeah. And the good thing about him, I mean, one, he's Dominicano, so represent. I'm not Dominican, but represent for my Dominican peoples. He averaged 17.3 points, 8.2 rebounds, and 5 assists while shooting 39% from the field. Once again, there's that number again. Knick guards shot less than 40%. They're 40% or less from the field, which is under the league average. So
he's a skilled point guard, though, man.
Yeah, and he shot 27% from the three-point line. So he's not your three-point shooter either.
He shoots a good free throw percentage, though, I'm sure.
I wonder what that is. I think I had it up. I had it up before I closed it. What is his free throw percentage? Because you know what? I think you might be right.
Almighty Finesse says he's a Brandon Jennings. That's probably a good comp. But shorter.
I could see that. Mm-hmm. I could see that. A Brandon Jennings type, yeah. He shot 85% from the free throw line, but it's a small set of games. But yeah, 85%. So he's a decent free throw shooter.
Yeah. So you would say even in a small set of games, he's probably a better three-point shooter too, because you ain't got that much to go off of career-wise.
That could be true. It's a good point. But he is I guess someone you could see as a point guard of the
He's a
future.
project, though, man. He's one of those young men who has been around, the Spanish league for a while. Sort of journeyman type. Trying to get his skill level up, being able to make a team, and then hope for an opportunity with a club that can bring him along slowly, and hopefully he matures into a really good point guard. I mean, he watches a lot of film. I seen some of his. There's like this video out there, and he's I think he looks up to what's the kid's name from Cleveland? Darius. What's the kid's Garland? He looks up to Darius Garland, and I've seen something online with him, and Darius giving him some pointers. He actually trains with Kevin. Is it Ali? He used to play
Kevin
with
Ali,
the 76ers. Yeah. So he's been working with him. So he's working with some, well-known trainers and NBA elites. So we'll see.
Yeah, Sherwin M. Salute to you, brother. Yeah, he's Dominican. Apparently, it said Dominican. So, yeah, he's Dominican. So the Knicks didn't stop there. Most recently, they signed Garrison Brooks from University of North Carolina to an Exhibit 10 deal. And he is a forward, 6'9", 230 pounds. He averaged 10 points, 6.5 rebounds. He shot 45% from the field, just under 70% from the free throw line.
He's just another body to bring into the G League. Someone to be in practice.
Exactly. Yeah. It's another body to bring into the G League. And don't get me wrong, I'm not opposed to him. I don't mind him. But when I look at a guy like this, I look at the fact that we had somebody like that last year, and he had a cup of coffee with the Knicks, and I thought they should have used him more, and at least brought him back, especially when we started dropping bodies because of health and safety protocols. And that's Amir Sims.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Amir was what, like 6'8", though? Amir was small.
He was 6'8", but this guy's 6'9", 6'8", 6'9". Yeah.
That's kind of the new power forward, right?
Yeah.
Today's
actually,
NBA.
Yeah. No lie, it is
crazy. That's wild.
So that's crazy. You're right, man. That is the
back in the day. It was an anomaly. Yeah, back in the day, like the Charles Barkleys of the world, those were anomalies. Those were like, oh, this guy's 6'8", but he plays like he's 6'10", 6'11".
It's true.
And then you had your C Webbs that came in and they were hitting 6'10". Then you had 7-footers playing power forward with Dirk and Garnett, and now we're sort of back to this sort of mid-tier in height power forward structure.
Right. Yeah.
I don't know.
Shout out to once again Sherwood M. Shout out to Mike Lowe. Appreciate you guys. My guy Pete Panagiotopolis is in the building. Quality jumper. Once again, man, it was a pleasure meeting you, bro. Real cool cat, man. Definitely happy I got to meet you in person, bro. Keyshawn's in the building. I think I got everybody else from earlier. We already shouted out Angel Torres. Yes. El Survey's in the building. Good to see you. Appreciate you. Yeah, man. So here's my question to you, John. I'm wondering what you think. Ahead of this Thursday's free agency opening up, what do you think are the biggest needs for the Knicks right now? Like, you look at the team, what do you think we absolutely need? What, if you had a choice?
I mean, we all know we need a point guard. We've needed one forever. That should be high on our board. What sort of point guard we should get, that won't be defined by any of us. Of course, they're looking at the Jalen Brunson types, but and I'm hearing Dejounte Murray thrown in the mix as well. I would like to see the Knicks really focus on making sure they got depth, like athletic depth, So if you plan to move some guys, do your best in trying to keep guys who can make sure that your depth is on par with the rest of the league. I would hate for them to make a move and get rid of a lot of our depth. Like if they start to move away from your Grimes and your Cams and Deuce and Obi, and you start losing that depth as a team, you're not gonna go anywhere. And I think that's the biggest issue for me. It's like I just want to make sure that they hold on to a lot of that depth. If you don't have to get rid of guys like Obi or Cam, do your best not to. Because if you land next season starting out with a roster filled with older veterans like Fournier and Burks, we've seen that already. We've seen where that's going to take us. So let's do our best to move away from some of those guys if we can, add them. If that helps us get a trade for, let's say, the Dejounte Murray, then let's do that. I just want to see us get better, man. At the end of the day, I just want us to see. I want to see a good product on the court. I want to be able to root for a team that I know has the potential to make a playoff run. And that's all I'm hoping for.
Oh man. So you brought him up. How do you feel about this Dejounte Murray thing? It's funny how we talked about. I don't think so either. But it's funny how we talked about him as a player that we would love on the Knicks, like all season this past season, and now San Antonio's somewhat making him available, and the Knicks don't seem to be able to do anything about it. And the asking price doesn't even seem to be that crazy. So I'm a little confused.
Is there an extra price though?
Apparently, they said they want 3 first-round picks. And
I never heard of that. Who said that? What site?
That's the rumor going around. No, I mean, it's going around the internet. I don't know.
I'm not. That doesn't even sound real.
What would happen if San Antonio trades Dejounte Murray to Atlanta for Gallinari and 3 first-round picks? How would that make you feel, John?
It'd be horrible. It would be horrible.
I mean,
because I would have. You know what I mean? I would give you 3 first-round draft picks and name a player besides RJ. You know what I mean? Just name a player besides RJ, and I'll give up for the 3 first-round draft picks. It's silly. I don't think that's going to happen, though. I really don't see that happening.
Yeah, I think I don't know. I can't see it happening either.
That's a good one. Dripmore just put up Wall. Just can you bring that one back up for me, Jose? Something about Wall going.
Wall just reached the buyout. Going to the Clippers.
That's an interesting move by Wall, because all 3 of those guys have injury histories in the last couple of years, but if they're healthy. If they stay healthy, a very formidable team. All they have to do is just build around those 3.
I mean, they might have to put like bubble socks and bubble leggings and bubble on
all of them. Don't play them until playoff time.
They might have to have dudes like, grab them up under their arms and just walk them around everywhere. Don't put no pressure on nothing.
It's true, man. Can't play them in the regular season. You gotta let them rock, chill, take vacation, come back like 2 weeks prior, get ready, and then let them release them, in playoff time.
Yeah, man.
Well, that's an interesting thing,
I mean, listen.
If healthy, man, that's a nice trifecta right there.
And I see what you're saying, Almighty Finesse. You're wondering, what does Wall going to the Clippers have to do with the Knicks? Nothing, but it shows you that's another team that is making a move to get better. It's a questionable move, but it's a move nevertheless to get better, because the benefit is, you know, they might be able to make some noise if they can keep people healthy. It's a real big if, but
it's a big risk,
especially in this moment, right? In this moment when the Knicks haven't done anything, that's just how it is. That's just another team that's trying to do something. That's all. That's all it is.
But that's the thing, you know, free agency. Like, there's no end to free agency. Like, they can still talk free agency until up to the start of the new season. So we could just be waiting around forever, not hearing anything happening. And that's what's going to kill us the most as far as Knick content creators, because it's like, what are we going to talk about? We're going to talk about how they didn't move the needle again. So we have, in my eyes, I'm looking at next season. If, you know, we're going into next season with the same group of guys that we had last season. And, you know, that's a 30-win team. That's not going to give us much more unless somehow Tibbs decides to shift the order in which he you know, shifts the rotation. And, you know, that's not going to happen. So,
yeah,
you know,
that's iffy,
expect
man.
to see Brunson as your starting point guard to start the season.
Don't say that, John. I thought
I'm just
you
saying,
liked me, brother.
To start the season, that wouldn't surprise me, man. Like, it wouldn't surprise me if he starts the season off with Burks as his starting point guard, and then somewhere within like 10 to 20 games, he moves into, you know, allowing Quickly to start, you know, and then from there, this is what we're going to look at. This is what we're going to see. This is the product. And we'll see Cam play like 8 minutes sparingly here and there.
I can't.
It's going to be tough.
I can't.
It's going to be tough.
I can't deal. I can't deal. I don't want to see that. I can't deal. So, you know, being that it's such this time frame is one of those where it's all like the littlest rumor is making noise. Hey, guess who went to dinner the other day? Emmanuel Quickly and Donovan Mitchell.
Nice. They went to a Met game too?
I think they did. And they also shot some type of promo commercial or for something they're both affiliated with in upstate. So you know what that means, right?
Nothing.
Donovan's a Knick, bro. That means it has to. Why else would he be with him?
Because his family and everyone lives in New York.
And they were doing some business together, whatever. And, you know, they actually have a good relationship now that they've done some business and they just want to hang out.
I would love that to be the case, man. I would love that to be the case, you know, to be able to bring a Donovan Mitchell. But he has to make it known that he doesn't want to be in Utah.
Yeah, he's dropping all this cryptic stuff right now, and it really means nothing.
If you really want to go, you gotta play it like Harden played it. You know what I mean? If you really want to get moved, you gotta play it like Harden did it. That's the only way to do it.
Just come out and say, "Get me up out of here. I want to go, and I want to go to the Knicks."
Right.
It doesn't. It's not a fun process I would think, to go through. You got to deal with all the media scrutiny. You got to deal with the fan base
from Utah
going crazy, and then you got to deal with Utah. Base. The people of Utah are going to start hating him. You know.
Yeah. It's going to come with the territory unless, you know, he does it in silence. You know, because you could do that also.
Yeah, man.
Do it in silence. Front offices got to be aware.
Shout out to Kareem Grant. He's in the chat. Appreciate you, brother. Once again, it was a pleasure meeting you in person. Dope. Thank you for joining up, man. Worldwide L's in the building. We see you. What's going on, brother? C-Mac, my guy, is in the building. What's going on, brother? KJW Events is in the building. What's happening, bro? Yeah. So, I mean, you know, at Keith Turner, what's going on, Keith? Yeah, man, that's the thing. That's what's happening. This is what we're dealing with. This is such a bad time for the Knicks. We're mentioned in every type of rumor that comes up. anybody who's going to be free is somehow pointed to the Knicks.
Mm-hmm.
You say it all the time,
talks of
John.
Levine. There's even talks of Levine. That's what you do to get your stock up, right? You got to be able to have teams that would be willing to take a look at you, and you put the Knicks in front of everybody, and people start saying, "Oh, well, the Knicks are opening to bidding for a guy, then there must be some real interest, and the price goes up."
Mm-hmm.
So,
and don't get me wrong. Listen, I would be okay with that. I don't know how most Knicks fans feel. I don't know how you feel about it. But if somehow the Knicks wound up getting Jalen Brunson and they cleared enough cap space to bring in Zach LaVine, I'm okay with that.
yeah,
I'll be happy with that.
I don't even think that's it. I don't even think that's it. I think it's somebody that we're not even paying attention to.
That's what I would hope really it is.
I think it's Jalen Brunson and some unknown and then we're all going to be surprised. Some of us may like the move, some of us won't. But I think I am hoping that whatever they do in that position is to bring in a guy that will allow for RJ to play the two. Bring a guy with some length in here.
That would be great.
And then that way everyone can play their most comfortable positions, both offensively and defensively. But I think that's sort of what the route is for this free agency. If not, you stick with Cam and you move on from somebody else on our roster. You stick with Cam and allow Cam to start the season out as your starting point guard, small forward.
Small forward, right?
Yeah.
The thing is, do you feel like Cam has earned enough in Thibodeau's eyes for Thibodeau to trust him at the 3 and be able to put RJ at the 2 again?
We talked about it. You got to remove his pawns. You got to remove
his crutches, right?
His crutches. You got to remove them. You can't allow him to have the ability to move away from a guy like Cam. You got to give him no choice but to play Cam, if that's the case. And that's why I feel like if they're looking for a player, they're going to look for a player that is in Tibbs' nature and like someone that Tibbs would like to have on his team. Mm-hmm. And it's just someone that we aren't paying attention to or aware of. And when that player becomes available or is shown to be available, then we'll see it. But I would have a hard time believing after last year that they think that RJ is fit to play the small forward position. Specifically for me, it was defense. Defensively, I don't think he's ready to play that sort of game.
I think you're right. I'm hoping for the best, man, because we need something to feel good about with this team. And don't get me wrong, I'm one of those. I'm really happy with them playing the young guys and just seeing what happens. And maybe if they can't do something right now because it doesn't present itself, maybe at the trade deadline they're able to do something. But I just think like if you want to try to clear cap space, I think it's easier to bring in somebody as a free agent to figure out what you're going to do in a trade, because you might wind up overpaying or whatever. At least right. A free agent, hopefully there's nothing attached to it. Like if you can get Jalen Brunson for nothing or something. But of course, I want Dejounte Murray, guys, like everybody else does. Who wouldn't want him? But right. I just don't think it's going to happen.
Doesn't seem realistic at this point. It doesn't seem realistic. Now, if he's going for, like you said, what the rumors are saying, I don't buy those 3 draft picks. I don't see that happening. I really don't.
Yeah. Salute to Pudge Nice, Alton Lee, my man John Talento, JJ's in the building. Bodega Wi-Fi is here. B Willis is here. Appreciate y'all. Eric Surreal. I think I said that before, but if I didn't, I'm saying it now. Paris Duggar. Salute. Illmatic is in the building. Yeah, man. The 3 amigos are back again. We here, folks.
Yeah, man. Appreciate all of y'all for tuning in throughout this entire year. It's been a whirlwind, and man, the chat, everyone, we've just been growing, and it's amazing to see. It's amazing to see.
Yeah, I mean, we can't thank you guys enough for all the help and support that you guys have been doing. A lot of you guys are our day ones, and we have definitely appreciate y'all to the fullest, and definitely
Mm-hmm.
welcome the newcomers that are supporting us. It just everything is happening so fast. It's funny because we went through this whole process, and it was a slow mover, right? And then all of a
Mm-hmm.
sudden, boom, it picked up, and then everything was happening so fast, and then we calmed down again. But we
Mm-hmm.
went. I mean, things are going so crazy right now. I mean, we went from like 700 subscribers not too long ago to we're at 1,400 now. Like things are
Yeah,
happening fast. So thank you
it's great.
guys. We appreciate it, man.
Yeah, it's just all of it's Nick Nation, man, standing up for with us or standing with us and enjoying what we able to provide. Especially you, Ron. You put a lot of work in. You know what I mean? Those Saturdays are dope. You know what I mean? The Know the Ledge series is dope. You do a great job with that and inviting people on and having, sort of that crosstalk between each other. So that's always dope. I think people appreciate that time that you put in. I know I do.
Well, I appreciate you saying that. Thank you. And I thank everybody who does tune in. I know it's tough, guys, because, we're not the only show in town. There's a lot of great content creators who put on great shows. And the fact that you guys even dedicate even the littlest amount of time to take a look at what we got going on is really highly appreciated. We can't thank you enough.
Yeah.
And we're even hitting you with more and more. Like, I mean, now it's probably getting down to our regular pace. We're calming down a little bit. But for the most part, we're hitting you with 3 shows a week. But we've been hitting you with 4 shows a week, and I think one week we even hit
The
you with 5
draft,
shows. Like
that
it was
draft,
crazy.
man. Shout outs to D Poetic and you know what I mean. D is balling. He likes to be called.
Yeah,
Also, Profit
Feed
from
Sports.
Feet Sports,
Yeah,
man.
Profit.
Yeah, y'all killed it. Y'all killed it during draft. Y'all killed it so much that you had me believing that the Knicks were gonna pull the trigger on one of these great young talent.
That's the unfortunate. I got to tell you, man. You guys as Knick fans, and we're fellow Knick fans, obviously. You think you feel bad knowing that the Knicks didn't get anybody, uh, that we would have hoped at least early. Let me tell you, to go through all these draft picks and look at these players and what they got going on and their skill traits and like this guy does this and this guy does that, and then the Knicks don't come away with none of them.
None of them.
Oh,
Not to mention, y'all went through y'all did the draft from 1 through 11 for the sake of making sure that we're going to match and we're going to lock in on that 11th pick. And then y'all supposed to go back and say who made the most, the picks they sort of landed the most. And I think y'all bet it, right? Y'all bet like $5
yeah,
each or
yeah.
something
I
like
think
that.
I
That's
think
hilarious.
I'm gonna take a look because I haven't had a chance. You haven't won yet, D Poetic. So I'm gonna double check that. D Poetic might be winning, but I'm not sure.
Right.
If he wins, like we had a little bet that whoever wins gets like a $20 gift card or something to
Gift
Apple,
card,
whatever. Doesn't matter. But yeah,
right.
I'm not sure who wins yet. But I'm checking. I'm gonna check close with a fine tooth comb and my magnifying glass. I gotta make sure I know whose picks was right or closest to being
Yeah.
right.
But yeah, man,
Yeah.
dope content. Either way, it was dope content, and it was a fun time listening in. To some of the work that you guys provided. You put in the effort and looking at all of those. Those those players and those comps. It's an interesting conversation.
Yeah, I mean, we definitely had a great time doing it. Look forward to doing it in the future. And I want to give a special shout out to the chat once again because I think I see a name that I don't remember seeing before. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong. If you've been here before, then salute to you for coming back again. But if this is your first time, big shout out to Cormega. Yeah, that's a dope name, by the way. We know Cormega for
The
his Queens
artist,
raps. Yeah,
right?
yeah, the artist Cormega. That's a dope name. So if this is your first time, thank you. Salute to you for being here and chopping it up with us. Salute to my man Visions. I feel like I said it, but I'm not sure. So salute to you once again if I did. Salute to E. Gibson in the building. Salute to Don P is here. What's going on, Don P? And also salute to I think I may have said Paris Duggar, but I'll say it again. Paris Duggar, you get 2 shout-outs. Oh, that's it. That was the name I was looking for. My man, D. Coolis, 718. Appreciate you.
Right.
And let me see something. No Way Jose 1022 said something. He said, last time we thought Ron was going to beat John, we found out John was better at predicting games. Maybe Ron will have an advantage in a one-on-one game. Let us know if you would like to see it live. Oh, no.
Yeah, don't do that.
No.
Don't do that.
What you trying to do,
my
Jose?
Bro.
What are you
doing?
See what I'm saying?
Listen,
he's trying to split the group
up. I posted up the question earlier today.
Yeah, you trying to make me go David Ruffin on him. Ain't no group without Ron. Yeah, all right. I don't know.
But listen,
I don't know if we want to do that one.
On a one-on-one game between the hoes, 76% are saying that Ron, you will win. John, you
That's
got 24%.
just because of my height.
I think they're right.
Let me tell y'all something, man. John's got a basketball court in his backyard, bro. He's gonna kick my butt. I'm not messing with it. I'm not messing with it. But listen, maybe if everything comes together next year, maybe still Knicks fans might represent. Maybe the 2-on-2. Maybe me and John might take somebody on.
Facts.
Look at Pete. Look at Pete's comment right now. I posted.
I like it. John versus Guillermo and Isaiah. Okay.
Oh hell no! I mean, maybe Isaiah. Guillermo balls. I don't know. Guillermo be balling a lot, man. He be out there. And I don't know. That dude ball on the regular. I think he still plays in semi. What do you call those semi-rec leagues? Yeah, now he's gonna tear us up, man. Wait, Don P's offering to be my trainer. Oh man.
Nice.
Yeah. Maybe you'll be a trainer like in Rocky when you hit me with the "you can't win" because that's what's gonna happen.
Sorry, look, Pudge put a good comment up there. He said we got a whole year to prep up right now.
Yo, yeah.
That's a fact. That is a fact. But I don't trust Gmo because Gmo, like, he's the type that he won't rock with Isaiah. He'll try to get Sim. So it'll be Gmo and Sim against me and I don't know. But maybe. All right, maybe. I'm gonna write that down, yo. I'm gonna put that down in the list. We'll see if we can see how that plays out next year. I'm not making no promises.
Want to see Ron versus John one-on-one this summer? Throw some fire emoji in the chat right now. The more fire emoji we get, the better chances we are gonna have that game.
This summer already started. Ain't none of us ready.
Yeah. This summer's almost over, man. When you think about it.
How about we do it on the video?
This summer.
I didn't tell you guys.
He won.
Yeah, I didn't tell you guys about my tricky knee. Yeah, it comes and goes, man. But I never want to know when it's going to happen. It could happen on the day of. So I'm just saying.
Yeah.
But yeah, man. So I appreciate you guys for tuning in and rocking with us, man. This is it's a real interesting time for these New York Knicks. We don't know what to expect, but I'm gonna say what I think you're starting to see some content creators say. We got to try to be patient with these Knicks. That's all we can do, man. Yeah. They're our team. Like it or love it, or however you want to say it, we're gonna be rocking with them. We may not be happy all the time, but they're our team. I'm not going nowhere. Well, it is what it is. But I'm hoping for the best. I'm hoping they do something.
If we were able to live through a Moutier, those sort of teams, we'll be fine. We'll be able to work through another season where we don't look so great. But we got to give it a shot. We got to see what happens.
Yeah, man. Christopher McNair's in the building. Salute. Knicks 100 is here. Let me tell you something, man. When you brought up Moutier,
tough Knicks.
That's tough, bro. That just makes me know how diehard I am and how I rock with this Knicks team. Because Moutier never really did anything in this league, right? But I was so desperate for Moutier that I even wanted him back for a second time around. And I even was like, you know what? Maybe the Knicks need to bring him back for a third time. Oh, it's bad, man. It's bad. It's tough being a Knicks fan.
Think about those in between years. Even with Melo on the team, we had a point. What was his name? Douglas.
Tony Douglas.
Tony Douglas. Like that was one of our point guards. Yeah. But like we went through some teams where we was like, what are we really doing? So
that's a good point. That is a good point, man. Well, I mean, listen, guys, we got to see what happens. Hope for the best, man. Just keep rocking with your team, man. I mean, they're our team for a reason. Oh, look at that. D'Angelo in the building. Salute, D. Positive. What he said, salute unless they make a major move. I'm not positive. Yeah, man. I don't know. Yeah. I think that's
what I'm waiting for.
The feeling for a lot of people. KJ said Chris Duhon, Howard Isley. Yeah, that was a rough time.
Tough Knicks, man.
That was a rough time.
We had Al Harrington at one point.
Although I liked Al Harrington, no?
But it was after the Boston years. It was not.
Right. We had him when it didn't mean as much.
Matter. Right.
Yeah. That's the Knicks way. I mean, you guys already know. I don't have to keep saying it. You know all the people we've had that come through here on their last legs or when they weren't as effective as they used to be. We saw the Antonio McDyces, and you guys know the list. I don't gotta say it. It's been
crazy.
rough. Yeah, but we did there was a point. Wasn't Harrington on the team where we had David Lee and
Channing Frye?
Oh wow, maybe it was Channing Frye too. And what's his this dude from what the hell's his name? Now I forget his name. The lefty, bald head, the forward or / center. He played with Sacramento for a while. What the hell was his name? Zach Randolph. Man, I hate not having a good
Randolph.
Zach Randolph, right. Yeah, man. Zach Randolph. We had Zach Randolph. Actually, we had Zach Randolph during some good years.
Some good years. Yeah, because we had him during the Crawford years too.
And I think we had a pretty good David Lee too. I mean, Golden State might have got him during his prime as well. But we had a pretty good David Lee.
Yeah, we did.
Oh, man, Van Horn. Oh, boy.
Heat.
El Surrey said Alec Burks.
Sad days. Sad days. They're still ahead.
What up, Frank Matos? Appreciate you.
You know what's so crazy is that last season we had so much optimism, man. It was like coming into the season, there was so much optimism. It's crazy.
I don't know, dude. I don't know. Well, let's try to get back to that, man. I don't know how we can do it, fellas and ladies, if y'all tuned in. Let's see if we can get back that optimism for these New York Knicks. Maybe they'll do something. I hope. I like what John's saying. Maybe they do get us a Jalen Brunson. I know everybody's not in love with that, but maybe they do get us a Jalen Brunson and we wind up with somebody else that we weren't even expecting that can really help fill out the roster. And with the young guys we already got, maybe they'll make a nice little run and at least be competitive. Or they give us an early Christmas present and somehow this is all a smoke screen and we wind up with Dejounte Murray. No?
Yeah. Hey, that works too.
Yeah, I'll take that in a heartbeat, man. But yeah, guys, I thank you guys for tuning in. Oh, White Falcon, I don't know if I mentioned you earlier, man. Appreciate you, brother. I want to make sure I shout you out, brother. And let me tell you, those Paul George trade rumors, I think those are going to be, now that they got John Wall's going there, I think they're going to be holding on to Paul George. Yeah, I don't think he's going anywhere. Yeah, man. So thank you guys for tuning in as always. Jose, do you want to come down from high up top where you are and say a couple words to the folks?
Thank you to everyone to, still supporting us, even though we took a nice little break. Thank you guys for letting me take my vacation. I appreciate it. And
Yes, sir.
hopefully next year, I can make it out there to the draft party. I gotta get permission from my wife, but, hopefully I can make it.
That'd be a dope time. Who's to say we can't bring our wives? We can bring our wives.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, definitely, Jose. Yeah, there's no problem.
I was just saying, don't bring the kids.
Oh, I ain't got no kids, so I'm good.
Oh yeah, you good.
You good money.
Yeah, man. So yeah, as always, I appreciate you guys. John, you got any final words?
Yeah, my parting words, as always, stay blessed, and I'm looking forward to the next one.
What he said. I like what he said. Yeah, man. Thank you guys for tuning in. As always, we appreciate you guys for always supporting us. Thank you for everything. I can't tell you how much it means to us. And I can't tell you how happy I was to be in Atlantic City for an MBK event and meet some of you guys there, Quality Jumper, Kareem Grant, other names that, unfortunately, I realized that I met a couple guys. I met Mike, I met Matt, but I don't know like their tag names for how they come into the chat or what they go by as YouTube. So I can't shout them out, and I feel bad about it because those were cool guys too. But I can't shout out my guy 914's finest. He was definitely there in the building. That dude's a funny cat. He's a cool dude. I had a fun time chopping it up with him as well as Drugs, who's the guy who does the NBK anthem for Sim Show. When Sim passed the assist, nothing but swish. I met him. He's a dope dude. So yeah, man, we had a really good time. I also met Trav Bryan. He's the dude who does the raps on Twitter. He'll do the Knick raps where he'll go through what happens in the basketball game and do a rap about it. Real cool dude, man. Real cool dude. I had a fun time. And one more guy that I definitely want to shout out. I got to meet I Am Jarrell in person. I Am Jarrell, really cool dude, man. Definitely dope. You guys see I Am Jarrell. He's everywhere on, content creators shows. And he also is usually on the front stoop, Sim's other show about hip hop and other things. So yeah, man, it was really dope. So once again, thank you guys as always. You know what I mean? Thank you to my man Jose holding us down on the ones and twos. And we appreciate y'all. Stay rocking with us, man. Hopefully, you'll definitely see us. You'll see me on Saturday. And I think we will be rocking on Thursday for an NBA report, but we're still going to clear that up, make sure that's good. And we'll figure out what we talk about, because now that the NBA season is over, it's going to be interesting.
You're right about that.
Yeah, man. Definitely. So tell a friend who tells a friend who tells another friend. Still Knick fans. We'll be back again. Thank you guys. Have a great night. We'll see y'all.